permanent diaconate has been a great surprise, almost a gift from the Holy Spirit to the Archdiocese. And for me, it came out of nowhere. I hadn't been following the subject, I didn't know much about it. And when my friend Jim Cooney made a motion at the Diocesan Synod about it, I didn't pay a lot of attention. But the Holy Spirit was paying attention because the Synod grabbed hold of the idea and put it forward, and the Archbishop accepted it, and the rest, as they say, is history. The deacon is very closely allied with the bishop. Historically, the deacons were the bishop's eyes and ears, arms and legs, who could meet difficult challenges where the priests perhaps were rooted in caring for the local community. Their real purpose is to show the compassionate face of Christ to those who need Christ's care, particularly the poor, particularly the marginalized. So far, we're not even close to having the deacons that we need. We have more requests for deacons from parishes and other ministries than we can fill. So we're really hoping that we'll continue to inspire men with the support of their wives to come forward as candidates for the permanent diaconate. And I think you'll see a continuous series of groups of deacons being ordained to meet the many needs of our growing community.
The basis of the pastoral care that we offer seafarers is the fact that they are away from home. They sign up from 3 months to 10 months at a time. So it means during that period they are fairly isolated, they can be lonely, and they're away from their family, friends. Sometimes just praying with them. Sometimes they'll ask me to pray for a sick spouse or a child, or in some cases it's a little more serious, like they may have just lost a parent. There are also extreme cases where there are injuries or even deaths aboard a ship. Being a deacon is a calling, it's a vocation, it's a very fulfilling role for me. You are apostles of the sea and doing apostolic work.
The thing I get the most out of my role is the joy of knowing Christ. The joy I find in serving people in my community and being on the altar with him during the consecration and kneeling next to the altar at that moment is incredibly powerful for me. I feel very, very close to him. And proclaiming the gospel is an important and wonderful part of being a deacon. And all of those things taken together provide me with a great sense of joy, and that joy sustains me in all the things that I do within my service as a deacon.
I am assigned here at the Holy Rosary Cathedral as a parish deacon, and also here at the men's hostel, the Catholic Charities. Men here are hungry for a lot of things: spiritual hunger, financial hunger, and trying to find themselves. Because these men are older compared to Covenant House, for example. People there are asked for many things in certain ways. Here, you can offer simple things. Like, for example, a simple chocolate. For them, it's a big thing. I want to serve the poor. I want to serve those who are needy, those who are marginalized. Well, I find joy if I manage to serve the poor, serving the marginalized. At the same time, being a dad, being a father first and a husband, serving them on the other hand, and serving the parishioners. Bind it together as one, that's the joy itself.
I have two responsibilities as a deacon. One is in the Archdiocesan Renewals Committee. I'm an ARC member. And the other responsibility is in this hospital, Holy Family Hospital. It's unique because you have that opportunity to serve the people, and on Sundays the priests can't make themselves available, so it's a good opportunity for deacons like us to come and do this communion service. I'm continuing the ministry of Christ, looking after the sick people and elderly people. God has chosen me to do this kind of work, to go deep into the hearts of the people. So that's my prayer always, to go deep into my prayer life and be filled with the Holy Spirit and with His gifts.
The parishioners have not only adopted me as the parish deacon, but as a couple.
I think there's a comfort level for people because we are a married couple. My priority is my husband, my marriage, and my family, and second, the diaconate. And it is very much a ministry that the wife embraces with her husband for it to be fulfilling and successful.
At each stage, and also each year, Wendy had to pen a letter of continued support of me being in the program. Before she wrote the letter, we talked about that whole, what the program means, and we looked ahead. And then Wendy made the decision to go ahead.
As a vocational call as a wife, it's just total support of seeing the fruits and the beauty of living a life so rich in faith. And we have a bond as wives, all of us in the diaconate program, that goes very deep. It is like sisterhood in some ways because we're sharing the beauty of this ministry with our husbands, and it enriches your life individually but also as a couple and as a family. It has that ripple effect because there's such a goodness associated with living a life of true deep faith.
The diaconate goes back to the very earliest days of the church. It's a ministry that was instituted by the apostles. And when it was instituted, they were primarily the servants of charity. They're really carrying out the tradition that was first established by the apostles and lived in the early church, where deacons were sort of the ministers of charity and justice within the community. So we're very blessed to have our permanent deacons at the service of all of us. As you might expect, the Permanent Diaconate Program is a program that is in need of many resources. It's a program that lasts at least a good 4 years. We're very proud of the program, but we're also aware of the resources that are needed in order to prepare men to be well-formed intellectually in their theological formation, well-formed pastorally, so that they have the pastoral sensibility to carry out their mission. And for that, we need the support and the resources of the faithful of the Archdiocese, who after all are the great beneficiaries of the Permanent Diaconate Program. We count on them, on their generosity, their blessing, the support of their prayers to help our Permanent Diaconate Program continue to be the excellent program that it has been, and I'm sure under its director, Monsignor Smith, will be in the future.